We are not making allegation. We are not pointing fingers. We are not talking out of ordinary concerned persons. We are not blaming the system. We are simply asking questions. We are simply stating the obvious. We are only requesting for transparency, accountability, and justice in the case of the death of a young mother, Romeca Meeks-Blackmon. We are talking about a son sitting out there, growing up without his mother, and will never see her mother again. We are seeking justice for a son who, at his earliest stage, discovered that someone somehow somewhere shot his mother dead in the presence of his so-called daddy, Carlos Smith, standing watching and did nothing, absolutely nothing to prevent the incident. This boy has known all these for fact, but what we are saying now is that do not let him grow up knowing that the perpetrators go scot-free. Subscribe to Cold Trial Crime and let continue. But before we begin today's high-stakes investigative deep dive, a critical legal disclaimer for the Cold Trail crime community. This report is based on documented public records, FOIA requests, and verified court updates from the Leighton Criminal Courthouse. Our mission is to analyze the investigative timeline of the Romeca Meeks-Blackmon case for educational and news purposes. We do not incite harassment. We follow the paper trail. Under the law, all individuals are presumed innocent until proven guilty. Now, let us look at the silence that is louder than the shots. At first, everything sounded simple. A timeline was presented, statements were given, and the narrative appeared straightforward. But as more details surfaced, small differences began to appear. Times didn't perfectly match. Movements seemed slightly off. And the more closely people looked, the more questions surfaced. It wasn't one major contradiction, it was several small ones that, when placed together, started to form a different picture entirely. Viewers began asking, if everything was clear, why were there still gaps? Why is the system suddenly going silent? For months, we have been told to wait for the process. But while we wait, the most critical piece of evidence in the Romeca Meeks case has seemingly vanished into a black hole. We are not talking about hearsay. And we are not talking about social media rumors. We are talking about the missing body cam footage from the Leighton Criminal Courthouse, the footage that allegedly caught the architect, perhaps the alleged 8th person in a moment they never intended for the public to see. While the world focuses on the suspects, the real mystery is happening in the prosecutor's office. Welcome back to Cold Trail Crime. If you are one of the new investigators who joined us today, hit that subscribe button right now. We are on a dead sprint to 1,000 subscribers, and today, we are demanding answers about the missing minutes. The question that should be keeping every Chicagoan awake is, where is the sheriff's body cam footage from the courthouse confrontation? We know that after the December hearing, the families of Quadaja, Holly, Johnson, and Romeca Meeks collided in the hallways. We know that the Cook County Sheriff's Department was present with active body cameras.
That girl lied that you killed my sister. They started fucking with her. Just like that. Just like that. That nigga started wearing. That nigga walked out and started fucking with my brother. You gonna see him for the rest of your life. You gonna see him for the rest of your life. You always got it on us. We've been quiet for too long. We've been quiet for long. You said it that time, nigga. You gonna see him for the rest of your life. You should have told me who the fuck we know.
Well, they just beat the white shit on
Yeah, you gonna see hate for the rest of your life. You told Holly who the fuck we want. We've been too quiet. This is a real trouble. You confused. You know exactly who the fuck we are. You ruined that girl's life and you killed my sister.
Yet, as we approach the May 7th discovery deadline, that footage has not been released to the public. At Cold Trail Crime, we are asking, what does that footage show about the architect and his inner circle? If the footage shows coordination or witness intimidation, it changes the entire narrative of self-defense. If you believe that transparency is the only way to justice, please like this video for Cold Trail Crime so we can force the algorithm to push this to 10,000 more seekers of truth. But the systemic failure goes deeper. We are looking into the Cook County State's attorney's initial statement of insufficient information. How can there be insufficient information when witnesses described a physical struggle and a fist bump while Romeca lay on the ground?
Right, he was slamming her with the door when she was standing in her door frame, not even close to the female on the other side. So she was literally standing on the other side of the road, and her baby daddy was literally slamming the door on her back. So she went back into her car, came back out, and then this was when the baby daddy walked towards the other baby mama. After this happened, he grabbed her by the waist. She tried to wiggle away from him. Her arm was like literally almost getting free with his arm around her neck this time, because he was holding her by the waist in the beginning and she wiggled out, you know. After this happened, he had her in the, like, almost looking like a headlock to me on the side, and then
We are investigating reports of a prosecutorial conflict, the possibility that connections within the legal system are slowing the hand of justice for the man who allegedly held the victim. On May 7th, the judge has ordered a status of discovery. This is the moment the state must produce the Stroger Hospital medical files. If those files show the physical evidence of the struggle, and the state still doesn't move on the architect, then we are no longer looking at a murder case. We are looking at a cover-up. Every time you share this video on your community tab, you are helping us break the digital shield that suppresses these views. We are tracking the June DNA reveal, but we are focused on the May 7th ultimatum. To the secret society, you can talk on your lives, and you can hide in the hallways, but the records do not lie. Does a mother who dropped her son off with a note of love deserve to have her case stalled by the system? The community says no. The records say no. And on May 7th, the discovery might finally say no more. Subscribe to Cold Trail Crime and click that notification bell. We are unmasking the contractors of chaos, and we are not stopping until the trail ends at a cell door. For Romeca, for her son, and for the thousands of us who refuse to be intimidated. Justice is coming, and it's wearing a public record. Furthermore, we have to look at the surveillance blind spot that is causing an uproar in the community. Reports suggest that investigators are now scrutinizing the minutes after the shooting, the time it took for the first call to emergency services to be placed. At Cold Trail Crime, we are asking, was there a cleanup crew? If the May 7th discovery includes cell tower triangulation that places members of the Secret Eight in a coordinated movement away from the South Loop, the random tragedy, defense is dead on arrival. It shows a tactical retreat. If you want to see the architect lose his cool when the digital pings reveal his exact location, hit that subscribe button for Cold Trail Crime right now. We aren't slowing down until justice is served. We are also investigating the social media blackout. Why did several key associates delete their profiles or go private within 48 hours of the April 1st hearing?
On Facebook, Holly's aunt is Tammy Johnson. She's the one who's been speaking on behalf of the family. She released the official statement, and she makes little comments here and there, and she also posted the video of Romeca on the ground, but she took it off right away. She stated in one of her posts that yes, she's seeing the grand jury. She's been seeing the grand jury. That's the reason why the family's been downtown protesting.
Now, Vera, let's ask a question. You said she's been seeing a grand jury
Since last week. Yes.
How many times?
So I can't speak on that. I don't know that, but I do know that she's before the grand jury. It's a process. So we're not going to know what's going on until a decision has been made.
God, but Holly been telling us what's going on. So why she stopped now?
Yeah. So if you guys are not aware of Tamika Johnson, you guys can go to her page, because again, that's the sister of Holly's mom.
In the world of criminal forensics, A deleted post is often a digital confession. We are looking for the ghost data. The messages sent between the architect and his circle while the sirens were still ringing in the South Loop. If the state presents subpoenaed DM logs on May 7th that show the inner circle was aligning their stories, we aren't just looking at a shooting, we are looking at obstruction of justice on a federal level. This is the electronic cage that is being built around the secret society. Every time you share this video on your community tab, you are helping us fight back against the impression suppression. We are now digging into the lease and registration records for the vehicles seen fleeing the scene. If those cars are registered to the same shell companies used in the 2023 federal PPP fraud, then the architect has used stolen government money to facilitate a homicide. This is the ultimate betrayal of the system and the community. As we move toward the June DNA reveal, the pressure is mounting on the Secret 8 to start talking before the science speaks for them. The Stroger Hospital records will prove the physical assault, but the digital and financial pings will prove the conspiracy. Does a man who allegedly fist-bumped in the face of death deserve to hide behind a broken algorithm? The community says no. The data says no. And on May 7th, the discovery will finally scream guilty. Subscribe to Cold Trail Crime and click that notification bell. We are unmasking the contractors of chaos, and we are not stopping until the trail ends at a cell door. For Romeca, for her son, and for all of us who refuse to be silenced, justice is coming, and it's faster than they think. Before the conclusion, here is a recap of what we have discussed so far. The missing courthouse footage following a tense hearing at the Leighton Criminal Courthouse in December 2025. A physical and verbal altercation reportedly broke out between the families of Romeca Meeks-Blackmon and Quadaja Johnson. The Cook County Sheriff's Department was present with active body cameras during this collision. This footage is crucial because it could reveal the Secret 8 associates' behavior and whether any witness intimidation or coordination by the architect occurred outside the courtroom. The state's attorney's insufficient stance early in the investigation. The Cook County State's Attorney's Office released a statement citing insufficient information to file charges at that time, which led to the initial release of suspects.
Tina says she's now raising her grandson, Romeca's 6-year-old son. Also, when I reached out to CPD about why the person originally taken into custody for allegedly shooting Romeca had been released without charges, they said that they can't give us any type of comment on an ongoing investigation. Loved ones say that there will be a balloon release in Romeca's honor tonight at 68th and Normal in Inglewood, where she attended high school. Reporting live in the South Loop, I'm Jewel Hillary.
Despite witness reports of a chokehold and a fist bump at the crime scene, the public outrage analyzing Carlo's involvement, the architect, remains uncharged. The secret being probed is whether the state is sitting on forensic evidence or if there is a conflict delaying a broader accountability indictment. The May 7th ultimatum, the upcoming May 7th, 2026 status hearing, is the reckoning for these secrets. The court has issued a Qualified Protective Order, QPO, for Romeca's medical records from Stroger Hospital. These records must be produced by this deadline to prove the physical trauma sustained before the shooting, which would legally link the architect to the act. The digital suppression narrative this angle highlights the asset recovery and metadata trap, the theory that digital pings and deleted messages from that morning are being withheld from public discovery.
I'm licensed to carry.
It doesn't matter.
You shot somebody. What the wrong with you?
How did she just walk away? How? When they told you that he had her in the headlock, how did he even walk away? Why did they was so easy to walk away? They tell me, look at the video, they bumping fences. I don't know about any of that because I really can't even focus. That's a game that was played and it was premeditated. You had an opportunity to walk away, to call the police, to turn around and get in your car and drive off. You did none of the above.
The Cook County State's Attorney's Office did release a statement after an initial review of the evidence presented by police. There is insufficient information to make a charging decision at this time. We will continue working with the Chicago Police Department as the investigation proceeds and remain committed to pursuing justice for everyone in our communities.